ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहैः तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. So yesterday we ended this verse here where Arjuna is asking Krishna, what is it that impels a person? By what does a person commit a sin? As though pushed by some force, even though not desiring to, Varshneya. Athakena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha anichanna pivarshneya baladiva niyojitaha. So previously it was pointed out that there are likes and dislikes with reference to every sense objects, and all you have to do is not fall under their spell. Tayoho vasham na agachet. It was also said that even though one's swadharma, what one must do, is not very pleasant, it is better to follow that than to follow something else that is more pleasing and convenient. Hearing all of this in terms of karma yoga, Arjuna asked, what is it that impels a person to perform an action that he or she knows is not proper? Some kind of pleasure may be there, but still the person knows that the action is not becoming and will produce sin, dukkha. If the person did not know, of course, it would be different and understandable. It's a very intelligent question that Arjuna asked. Why does a person do a karma that he or she knows to be an improper action? Kena prayuktaha papam charati purushaha. Impelled by whom or what does he or she do this action? Posing this question, Arjuna addressed Krishna here as Varshneya, one who is born in the family of Vrishnis. We also saw the other implied meaning of Varshneya as someone who gives complete knowledge, knowledge of Brahman. Arjuna described such a person as one who is as though eva impelled or pushed into performing improper actions by some force. Balat niyojita. Niyojita implying a devilish force. Further, the person is pushed into it even though he or she does not want to do it. The person knows it is not right, anichan, meaning that he or she does not have any real intellectual value for performing such action, but still it is done. Why? Impelled by whom? Kena prayuktaha? This was Arjuna's question. Duryodhana was once asked, why do you do all this papa karma? You come from a good family and have been brought up so well. You are a prince. What impels you to do such things? In a verse attributed to him, Duryodhana responded, I know what is right, janami dharmam, and I also know what is not right, janami adharmam. My problem is not that I have any innocence or confusion with reference to what is right and wrong. The problem is that I know dharma, but I do not pursue it. Janami dharmam nachame pravrittihi. And I know adharma, but I cannot refrain from it. Janami adharmam nachame nivrittihi. Duryodhana then went on to say, in whichever way I am impelled by the one sitting in my heart, in that way I do. Kenapi devena hridi stitena yatha niyuktosmi tatha karomi. It may have been a person or a force, but Duryodhana did not know who or what it was. Thus, Duryodhana and Arjuna had the same question. Who or what is it that is sitting in the mind, forcing the person to do what he or she knows to be wrong, even when the person does not want to do it? We saw these footnotes also yesterday. Purusha is the same as Purusha, meaning a person. Vrishni is this name, one of the ancestors of Krishna, by whose name the entire clan is known. Because he belongs to the clan of Vrishnis, he is known as Varshneya. However, this word can be interpreted differently. Brahmanandam varshati iti Vrishnihi samyak bodaha tena avagamyate iti Varshneya. That which showers on one, the fullness of Brahman, is called Vrishni, the clear knowledge of Brahman, Brahma Vidya. The one who is known by this knowledge is Varshneya. Or the one who is known by this Brahma Vidya, one who is known by this knowledge is called Varshneya. Janami dharmam nachame pravrittihi. Janami adharmam nachame nivrittihi. Kenapi devena hridistitena yatha niyuktosmi tatha karomi. So it's not like Duryodhana was not aware of what was going on. He did have that little viveka. He knew what dharma was, he knew what adharma was, but he was impelled by that kenapi devena hridistitena yatha niyuktosmi tatha karomi. So that driving force within him was what was impelling him to do what he did. Krishna answered this question in the next verse. So we can apply this verse, this question that Arjuna has, to our own lives. Why, in spite of us knowing this is right and that is wrong, we still end up doing certain things which are not right. Social media, for example, and indulging in the senses. So we know in the back of the mind that what we're doing is not right, but something impels us to do it. We still end up doing it. Krishna answered this question in the next verse. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Kama esha krodha esha rajo guna samudbhavaha mahashano mahapapma vidhyena miha vairinam. Shri Bhagavan, Lord Krishna Uvacha said, Esha, this kamaha, desire, eshaha, this krodha, anger, rajoguna samudbhavaha, born of the guna rajas, mahashanaha, a glutton, mahapapma, a great sinner, iha, here in this world, enam, this, vairinam, enemy, vidhi, no. So Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, Eshaha Kamaha, Eshaha Krodhaha, Rajoguna Samudbhavaha, Mahashanaha, Mahapapma, Iha, Enam Vairinam Vidhi. Shri Bhagavan said, this desire, this anger, born of the guna rajas, is a glutton and a great sinner. Know that to be the enemy here in this world. So for each of us, the inner Mahabharata is actually happening in every person. So these are the enemies that one has to eliminate. In his commentary to this verse, Shankara discusses the sixfold bhaga or qualities possessed by the one who is called Bhagavan. Total overlordship, Aishwarya, the strength to create, Virya, all fame, Yashas, all wealth, resources, Shri, all knowledge, omniscience, Jnana, and total dispassion, freedom from any sense of want, Vairagya. This Vairagya is not a sadhana, a means for gaining the knowledge. It is absolute Vairagya that comes with complete fullness. Therefore, Bhagavan is the one in whom these six-fold qualities always remain in their entirety. I will repeat this. We did this in the introduction to Gita, but good to revise and thankfully came up again. So, Shankara discusses the sixfold bhaga or the sixfold qualities possessed by the one who's called Bhagavan. What are they? Total overlordship, Aishwarya, the strength to create, Virya, all fame, Yashas, all wealth or resources, Shri, all knowledge, omniscience, Jnana, and total dispassion, Vairagya. So let's recollect all the six. One is total overlordship, Aishwarya, then total, the ability to create, the strength to create, Virya, then all wealth, Shri, all knowledge, omniscience, Jnana, and total dispassion, from a sense of want, vairagya. And all fame, missed up one thing, all fame, yashas. So Aishwarya, Virya, Yashas, Shri, Jnana, and Vairagya. This Vairagya is not a sadhana. This is not the dispassion of the fourfold wealth, four pillars of knowledge that a sadhak has. This is freedom. This is absolute Vairagya that comes with complete fullness. Therefore, Bhagavan is the one in whom these four qualities always remain in their entirety. Everyone has these qualities in a small measure. All have limited jnana and vairagya. Certainly, with reference to garbage, almost everyone has vairagya. Although what is garbage for one may not be for another. In Bhagavan, however, each of the six qualities is without any hindrance or obstruction whatsoever. It's Purna. It's complete, absolute. So all these six that were talked of is absolute overlordship, absolute strength to create, absolute fame, absolute wealth, absolute jnana, and absolute vairagya. Shankara goes on to say that Bhagavan is one who knows about the creation and the dissolution. Utpattim pralayam chaiva. He also has complete knowledge of the good and bad ends of all beings. He also has complete knowledge about the time, type, and place of birth and death of all beings. Bhutanam agatim gatim. Whatever be their lot, pleasure or pain, sukha or dukkha, he knows that too. He also knows knowledge and ignorance of the bhutas. Veti vidyam avidyam cha. Here the word avidya also means karma. This is the one who is to be called Bhagavan. Sa vachyo Bhagavaniti Koth Shankara. Very beautiful description of Bhagavan. So Shankara goes on to say that Bhagavan is the one who knows because he is absolute jnana. So he knows about the creation and the dissolution. Utpattim pralayam chaiva. He also has complete knowledge of the good and bad ends of all beings. He also has complete knowledge about the time, type, and place of birth and death of all beings. Bhutanam agatim gatim. Whatever be their lot, pleasure or pain, sukha or dukkha, he knows that too. He also knows knowledge and ignorance of the bhutas. Veti vidyam avidyam cha. Here the word avidya also means karma. So this is what he portrays in the Vishwarupa Sandarshana, right? Where everything is in him. People are dying, people are being born. All the worlds show up in him. The sages and rishis and the whole creation shows up. And Sarvadhi, he knows what happens in everybody's mind and intellect. He knows the pleasure and pain. And he knows when he knows creation and he knows dissolution as well. And this complete knowledge is without any obstruction. Such a person is called Bhagavan. Improper actions come from desire alone. In this verse, Bhagavan told Arjuna that what impels a person to do an action of papa is but a thought. A thought itself is not a person. It depends upon a person. Therefore, it is not a real substantive. But because the Atma is with the thought, a thought assumes a certain force. This thought, Krishna said, is kama, desire. I'll repeat this. So, improper actions come from desire alone. In this verse, Bhagavan told Arjuna that what impels a person to do an action of papa is but a thought. A thought itself is not a person. It depends upon a person. Therefore, it is not a real substantive. But because the Atma is with the thought, a thought assumes a certain force. This thought, Krishna said, is kama, desire. The expression, this desire, eshaha kamaha, indicates that it is something known to everyone. Thus, Krishna was telling Arjuna, you yourself can know this desire by looking into yourself. When you ask why a person performs an improper action, do you really think there is some devil or something in there? You are the only devil. There is no other devil, no separate satanic force sitting there interfering with Bhagavan's work. There is no second force more powerful than Bhagavan. You are both the devil and the angel here. It is your own desire alone. And this desire is something that is very well known to you. I will read further and then we'll come back here. To say that a person performs improper actions, even though the desire to do so is not there, simply means that the will does not seem to have the force necessary to stop the want, karma. The want becomes so powerful and your identification with the want becomes so complete that whatever wisdom may be there telling you that what you want is not good for you is silenced. In this way, karma can be very powerful. Desire is born out of Rajoguna alone, Rajoguna samudbhavaha, whereas wisdom is born out of Sattva. When Rajas is predominant, there is desire. Because Rajas is a force, Kama is also forceful. Krishna is said to be your enemy. Kama is said to be your enemy, Vairi, an enemy being one who does what is not good for you. Kama is inimical to you when it makes you go after things that you do not really want or need, things that you can afford to be without. In this way, it is your enemy. Kama also has another form, Krodha. Krodha, anger, is simply another stage of Kama. If Kama is destroyed in any way, if it is obstructed and not allowed to fulfill itself, then it will turn into anger. Arjuna was only too well aware of how this can happen. Born of Indra's grace, Arjuna was considered to be Indra's son. Indra thought he would reward Arjuna, who had been doing tapas in the forest for a long time, by sending the beautiful Urvashi to him. Urvashi was a celestial damsel, the most beautiful Apsara in heaven, and therefore the dream of all men, including the men in heaven. When Arjuna told Urvashi that he did not want to have anything to do with her, that he was already married, and that he considered her as a mother, Urvashi became very angry and put a curse on him that he would lose his masculinity and become a eunuch. Lord Indra intervened on behalf of Arjuna and made Urvashi modify the curse such that Arjuna would become a eunuch only for the period of 1 year, and that he could choose the time when the curse would take effect. Later, this curse turned out to be a blessing for Arjuna, since it made him eligible to teach dance and music to the ladies in the palace during the year he was to remain incognito. At the beginning of the 13th year of exile, Arjuna opted for the curse to take effect and became Brihannala and spent that year teaching dance and music. Arjuna had therefore experienced how desire can turn into anger. When Urvashi's desire for Arjuna was not fulfilled, it became anger. A person whose love has been rejected can even become violent towards the object of his or her love. Rejected love means that karma, want, is there. It is not like the love that one has for the stars, the moon, the sky, etc. There, one's mind has no demands as to how they should be or should not be. The mind totally accepts these as they are and enjoys them as they are. Therefore, this kind of love does not cause any problem. This is not the case with the karma that is demanding and therefore binding. This binding karma can be called by many names. In the beginning, it is called want, then passion, and then anger. All these are born out of Rajoguna. Kama as Krodha, anger, was referred to here as Mahapapma, a great sinner, because it is the cause of those actions that a person regrets for his or her entire lifetime. Such actions have to be paid for, and karma alone is the cause. Atma has nothing to do with them, nor do the body, mind, and senses. And although your ignorance has something to do with performing improper actions, ignorance itself has nothing to do with it. Who does it? Desire alone. Kama eva does it. There is even a mantra to this effect, chanted by adults and children alike. The mantra is, desire did it, anger did it. O Lord, my salutations. Kamo karshati, manyura karshati, namo namaha. This mantra is repeated 1008 times on a certain day of the year. It is not just a prayer, it carries a message too. It implies that I did not do it. Thus, if knowledge is there, there is no problem. This is why Krishna said, understand, Vidhi, that this karma alone is your enemy. As your enemy, karma forces you to perform actions that you know are improper and that do not really want to do, and that you do not really want to do. Just as Duryodhana said, there is someone sitting in my heart impelling me to do wrong actions, but I don't know who the person is. Arjuna also did not know. Here, Bhagavan made it very clear that this person is none other than Kama. Desire is insatiable. There is one more word given in the verse to describe Kama, Mahashanaha, one who is a great glutton. Karma never says enough. Of course, its fulfillment may be enough for some time, but eventually the karma will start up again, just like a glutton who barely takes time to swallow the food being eaten before wanting more. This then is the nature of want. Any want is always replaced by further wants. There is no end to the gluttony of karma, Krishna said here. To suppose that by continuing to fulfill one's wants, there will be a day when none remains is not a reasonable assumption. Like fire, karma always wants more. It will never say enough. Therefore, there is no possibility of karma coming to an end. It just goes on breeding. This is why we always have wants. In the next verse, Krishna told Arjuna how karma operates. This is so beautiful. So I'm going to read this.
Little more, we have to ruminate on this.
Yeah. I'm going to read this verse one more time,
Okay,
and then we will do Manana on this. Kamo karshati, manyur karshati. It is kama alone. It is desire alone. So we've sixfold bhaga we've seen. Shankara describes Bhagavan as having the sixfold qualities. And what are they? Absolute overlordship, absolute Aishwarya, absolute strength to create, Virya, absolute Yashas, absolute fame, absolute wealth, that is Shri, absolute Jnana, omniscience, and absolute Vairagya. So such a person is saying this. So he knows the in and outs. He knows when creation happens. He knows when dissolution happens. He knows when he knows the beginning and the end, the good and the bad, and whatever happens in the mind of people. Veti, and he knows Vidya, he knows also Avidya. He knows Veti Vidyam, Avidyam cha. Vidyam, Avidyam cha. So improper actions come from desire alone. So such is Bhagavan. And Bhagavan is saying this. So this should leave us without any doubt. We should have absolute Shraddha in this. In this verse, Bhagavan told Arjuna that what impels a person to do an action of papa is but a thought. A thought itself is not a person. It depends upon a person. Therefore, it is not a real substantive. But because the Atma is with the thought, a thought assumes a certain force. This thought, Krishna said, is kama, desire. In the earlier verses, we looked at we have no say over the thoughts that come to us. They are the swabhava. They just come. But you should have a say over them. So the thought is dependent upon the gunas. So here this thought again is not the person, but it depends upon a person. Depends upon how the person has lived his life, how the swabhav, it's the sum total of all the vasanas that he has, and those thoughts will depend upon that. So the expression, this desire, Esha Kamaha, indicates that it is something known to everyone. Thus, Krishna was telling Arjuna, you yourself can know this desire by looking into yourself. So that looking into oneself is important. That is awareness. When you ask why a person performs an improper action, do you really think there is some devil or something in there? You are the only devil. There is no other devil, no separate satanic force sitting there interfering with Bhagavan's work. There is no second force more powerful than Bhagavan. You are both the devil and the angel here. It is your own desire alone, and this desire is something that is very well known to you. To say that a person performs improper actions, even though the desire to do so is not there, simply means that the will does not seem to have the force necessary to stop the want, karma. So the free will does not have the force to stop the karma. When Krishna says, Tayoho Vasham na agachet, he says, don't come under their influence. He's saying, exercise your will. So when a person performs improper actions, even though the desire to do so is not there, it only means that his free will he's not using. He's not, is not enough to stop the force of the want karma. The want becomes so powerful and your identification with the want becomes so complete that whatever wisdom may be there telling you that what you want is not good for you is silenced. In this way, karma can be very powerful. Desire is born out of Rajoguna alone, Rajoguna samudbhava, whereas wisdom is born out of Sattva. So when Rajas is predominant, there is desire. Because Rajas is a force, karma is also forceful. So how can we counter this Rajoguna? How can we counter this karma? By stepping up Sattva. Sattva will, if Sattva is the one driving, is the driving force, is predominant, then the free will, the dhriti will be so strong that you can overpower the force of karma. Karma is said to be your enemy, Vairi, an enemy being one who does what is not good for you. Karma is inimical to you when it makes you go after things that you do not really want or need, things that you can afford to be without. In this way, it is your enemy.
Yes, when the rajas is a force, karma is also forceful. So both force together, becomes very, you know, like you said, replacing or making, stepping up that sattva guna makes you not having the desire
Yeah.
to
No,
begin with.
desire may come, but you
I
will
mean,
not act upon it.
right, like that's what I'm saying. Like you have the desire, even even if you have desire, like okay, if I don't go, then it's fine. Like say you want to travel someplace. Yeah, if you couldn't go, it's not that you're worried about it, right? Like
Yeah.
it's okay. Like the other day you wanted to go to Hyderabad and you had a problem with
Yeah.
the airplane. Some things like that happen when it's not emergency, then you don't have to worry about it. But then uh, situations like this, people sweat up on it, then we only stress ourselves, right? In the sense,
Yeah.
So the Rajas is a force, and then karma is also forceful. The desire is, uh, I mean, people, Rajaguna have more desire. Is that how it, I mean,
No, the
everybody has
desire is
desire.
born.
Yeah,
It is not Rajo.
Guna
Desire
alone.
is born of Rajoguna.
Mm. Here he said
Rajoguna
Rajag.
Kodayesha Rajoguna Samudbhava.
Mm,
So it is the Rajas which gives rise to desire.
mm.
Desire is
So,
nothing but a thought, right?
right, right. But all these thoughts that you're wanting to do this or need to do this, that kind of thoughts come to us, right?
Yeah.
So, but then, okay. So I was reading this line, like in this way, karma is very can be very powerful. Desire is born out of Rajaguna alone, and whereas wisdom is born out of Sattva. When Rajas is predominant, there is desire. Because Rajas is a force, karma is also forceful. So I'm wondering, like, because of Rajoguna, that the desire come to you. I know you meant thoughts, of course. Everybody has thoughts.
See, Rajas implies activity, no? If you look at the three gunas, Sattva,
Right.
Rajas, and Tamo Guna,
Mm, mm,
Sattva is knowledge, all the clarity, all of that is Sattva,
right.
right?
Because of the
Dhriti,
knowledge. Mm-hmm.
right? So that is
Mm.
all Sattva. And it's pure. Rajoguna, Rajas is that which
Action
brings
oriented.
activity. So
Right.
thought is also like a ripple. If Sattva is still
Mm,
conscious, is like the still river, is
mm,
a lake river. River cannot be still. A lake
mm,
that is Rajas is the ripple that starts
mm.
off. So that
Okay.
activity, so thought also similarly is an
Mm,
active in the consciousness. It is an
mm,
impulse of thought, an impulse of words that come up as a thought. Like I want to eat, say gulab
mm,
jamun. I want to
mm,
see some social media reels. Is a
mm,
thought comes up, and that is a desire.
mm.
And because rajas is a force, karma is also is forceful. So that the wave has a bit of a force, right? It is not still. If it's in
Mm.
stillness, in sattva, there is no ripple. Then you are there is what should I say? There
The
is content.
steadiness, yes, that's
But the moment activity starts, the moment rajas comes in, there
mm,
is that thought and the desire.
okay, okay, got it.
Whether you act upon it or not is dependent totally upon you.
Mm,
See, that is why Duryodhana said, Kenapi Kridistitena.
mm.
What was that beautiful verse that Duryodhana gave?
Yeah, nutshell. The
Kenapi.
other,
I
yeah.
know the first one. I know the first line. I didn't know the second line earlier.
Mm,
So,
mm,
Janami dharmam nachame pravrittihi. Janami adharmam nachame nivrittihi.
mm,
Kenapi devena hridistitena. Yatha niyuktosmi tatha karomi.
mm.
So Duryodhana is actually showing us what not to do, how not to behave.
Right.
That's a very good lesson. So kenapi devena hridistitena yatha niyuktosmi tatha karomi. So going back to this. So Krishna said, Kama is said to be your enemy Vairi because
Jai Gurudev, then what is the origin of the thought? How do we get these thoughts? Because yes, the desires come within us because of the rajas, but
Mhm.
where do the thoughts come from?
Yeah, I think that is what Krishna is going to say in the next verse.
Yeah, the mind.
Thoughts
So,
also are, they are born. Kama is born of what? Avidya.
mm,
Ignorance. From ignorance comes karma, and from there you have karma. So these are the three knots, primordial knots.
Kama, Krodha, what is that you said?
Avidya, kama, and krodha, and
Mm,
karma.
mm.
See, Bhagavan is who? Absolute vairagya, right? So he does not have karma in him. So if you're looking at that Purna Avidya, Purna Vairagya, so he is not someone who has um, desires coming up. He is, that is Atman, that is Brahman. Whereas from Brahman comes Maya, with that, the whole sum total of avidya is Maya. From there comes creation. And then in the creation, like we go back to Tattva Bodh, how creation happens, how the mind is born. The
Mind
Panchama,
is born out of the no,
Sattva, Rajas, Tamo
sattva,
gunas. Maya is Trigunatmika.
right.
And from there comes,
The
from the sattvic
sattva,
aspect,
sattvic
yeah,
aspect of the Sushma Sarira, right? So Sushma Sarira came
Gender
from,
is from sattvic aspect.
right. But then, you remember that senses came, and then action
Then
in
you have
reality.
the from the Rajoguna, you have all
Mm.
the Pancha Pranas, the organs of,
Yeah, action and as well as Jnanendriyas and the Karmendriyas and the Pancha Pranas and the mind, Vidhu and Ahankara and memory. All the four, 30, 15, 19. We got total of 21 or something like that.
yeah, they actually 17 they mention, but it is implied that,
Yeah, 17 it is Buddhi and mind. They
yeah.
included the memory and the ego later on. So, uh,
Your voice is not very clear, Dr. Mara. I don't know whether it's only for me. I
yeah,
cannot.
it's probably my,
Not
my
very.
laptop kind of usually voice breaking.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what I was saying is like in the you're right. Like it said the pancha jnanendriyas, the karmendriyas, and then pancha pranas, that vital airship, right?
Mhm.
And buddhi and mind to like 17. But then I think in the next in Tattva, we read it later on. They added the memory and ego also in
Ahankara. Yeah.
ahankara also
Yeah.
part of this sukshma sarira,
Mm.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
it was about 19, but
So,
I had something in my head like 21. I'm not sure why that number
mm.
was stuck in my head. Okay, I have to look it up again.
So it's a very good question. Where is the thought coming from? But
Right.
this is the genesis of the thought. So karma also has another form, krodha. Krodha, anger, is simply another stage of karma. If karma is destroyed in any way, if it is obstructed and not allowed to fulfill itself, then it will turn into anger. And we saw this in chapter 2, verse 62 and 63. Dhyayato vishayan pumsah sangasteshu pajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha कामात् क्रोधोऽभिजायते क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशः बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति. So ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः संगस्तेषूपजायते. So when he goes on thinking about a certain thing, from that comes the desire. And then if the desire is obstructed, it gives rise to anger. Arjuna was only too well aware of how this can happen. And for that, and there is this footnote that I did not read. Just read this. Utpattim pralayam chaiva bhutanam agatim gatim veti vidyam avidyam cha sa vachyo bhagavaniti. So beautiful. This was another way, of describing Bhagavan. This is from Vishnu Purana. We saw the first definition on page 24. The first definition was in the beginning, in the introduction to Gita.
That bhaga, right? Like
Yeah, Bhaga, the
bhaga.
six old wells.
The absolute Aishwarya
Aishwarya,
and absolute Shreya.
Virya,
What is, sorry,
Virya, Virya,
Virya, yeah. Absolute
Yashas,
strength, Yashas, and then the Jnana, wealth, the Shri,
Shri, yeah,
absolute wealth, absolute Shri, absolute Vairagya,
and Vairagya. That's why we
absolute.
say Shri Bhagavan Vacha.
Mm, Shri Bhagavan Vacha.
So, Utpattim Pralayam Chaiva Bhutanam Agatim Gatim Veti Vidyam Avidyam Cha Sa Vachyo Bhagavan.
So
So, going,
it means that the sthiti and pralayam is happening in the bhutas. I mean, which is human, right?
no, I didn't get
No,
what
no,
you say.
no. I'm wondering. Utpatim pralayam chaiva bhutanam agatim gatim.
No,
So it's all
Bhagavan is,
happening in the human.
he knows, he is aware of all this.
Oh, okay, okay, right. The vidya and avidya, all that.
He knows pralayam, he knows
Mm.
creation, he knows dissolution. He knows when humans are bhutanam gatim agatim gatim. When they
Mm.
come, when they appear, when they disappear. He knows also vidya and avidya.
Oh, right, right, right. Mm.
Avidya, the other meaning given was karma. So
So
he knows all of this, all knowing basically.
all knowing, yeah. So watch means saying or
Savachyo, one who knows.
one who knows. Okay, okay, one who knows.
Savachyo. So this is the
Watch.
one who's to be called. To be called,
Mm,
sorry. Vachyo is, this is the one to be called.
mm.
I will read this one more time.
One to be called Bhagavaniti. Mm,
Bhagwan is one who knows
mm.
about the creation and the dissolution. Utpattim pralayam chaiva. He also has complete knowledge of the good and bad ends of all beings. He also has complete knowledge about the time, type, and
Oh,
place
in here. Okay, okay.
and
Mm.
death of all beings. Bhutanam agatim gatim. Whatever be their lot, pleasure or pain, sukha or dukkha, he knows that too. He also knows knowledge and ignorance of the bhutas. Veti vidyam avidyam cha. Here the word avidya also means karma. Yeah, so that was the footnote. The footnote was
Mm.
the that was there.
Oh, the sloka that was given.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Mm.
this Arjuna knows very well how desire, which is obstructed, turns into anger. And the story about Indra sending Urvashi,
Mm.
because Arjuna was doing a lot of tapas in the forest for a long time. So he sends the Urvashi to him, who is the most beautiful woman. But
Mm.
Arjuna told Urvashi that he did not want to have anything to do with her. He considered her his mother. That made Urvashi angry. And then she cursed him to be a eunuch, to lose his masculinity. And then Indra comes and pleads with Urvashi and she modifies it, saying he can take this up on his at his
Mm,
will, and it will
mm,
last 1 year. So he uses that in the 13th year, and they have to go incognito. In the
mm.
14 years of exile, the last 1 year has to be incognito,
Incognito.
Ajnatavas, right?
Right.
So he
Right.
takes a shape, he takes on, um, he becomes Brihannala and teaches um, dance to that kingdom, that king's daughter. Is she?
Uttara. Mm,
Uttara. Was it
Uttara.
Uttara? Hmm.
Mm, right. Uttara.
Yeah.
That.
So therefore, he experienced how desire can turn into anger. I think we will have to wait 2 more minutes. So a person whose love has been rejected can even become violent towards the object of his or her love. And this is what we see in all these love triangles where they just kill one another. Rejected love means that karma, want is there. It is not like the love that one has for the stars, the moon, the sky, etc.
It
There one,
blinds them.
huh?
Sorry. It blinds them completely, right? With that anger,
Correct,
rejected
correct.
love. Yeah.
See, for something that you cannot control, like the nature, you cannot do anything. So
Yeah.
it is not like that love. This is there, one's mind has no demands as to
Mm,
how they should be or should not be. But when you have that demand, that becomes a binding love, binding karma. The
mm,
mind simply accepts these as they are. The mind accepts nature as it is, right? And enjoys them as they are. You might complain, but you have no say over summer, the heat of summer. You have no
right.
say over rain that lashes.
Mm-hmm.
You might not like it, but you have no say. You cannot alter how it is.
Mm,
Therefore, this kind of love does not cause any problem. This is not the case with a karma that is demanding and therefore binding. This binding karma can be called by many names. In the beginning, it is called want, then passion, and then anger. So it basically transforms. It starts as a want, it transforms into passion, and then becomes anger, then it is obstructive. All these are born out of Rajoguna. Kama as Krodha, anger, was referred to here as Mahapapma, a great sinner, because it is the cause of those actions that a person regrets for his or her entire lifetime. So, Kama as Krodha is a Mahapapma. Such actions have to be paid for, and karma alone is the cause. Atma has nothing to do with them, nor do the body, mind, and senses. And although your ignorance has something to do with performing improper actions, ignorance itself has nothing to do with it. Who does it? Desire alone. Kama eva does it. There is even a mantra to this effect, chanted by adults and children alike. The mantra is desire did it, anger did it. O Lord, my salutations. Kamo karshati, manyur karshati. Namo Namaha. This mantra is repeated 1008 times on a certain day of the year. It is not just a prayer, it carries a message too. It implies that I did not do it. Thus, if knowledge is there, there is no problem. This is why Krishna said, understand, Vidhi, that this karma alone is your enemy. As your enemy, karma forces you to perform actions that you know are improper and that you do not really want to do. Just as Duryodhana said, there is someone sitting in my heart impelling me to do wrong actions, but I don't know who the person is. Arjuna also did not know. Here, Bhagwan made it very clear that this person is none other than Kama. So, Kama is that devilish person sitting inside you, impelling you to do wrong actions, impelling you to do the actions that you do. And then the other aspect of Kama is that it is insatiable. It is Mahashana, it's a
It's
glutton.
just,
Mm.
yeah, it's just kind
Like,
of breeding
yeah,
more, more, more.
more. It is like
Mm.
a bottomless well. It's like fire.
Mm.
Anala, right? Fire is also called Anala. Anala means
Yeah.
it
Mm.
will say never. It will never say enough.
Like fire.
It
Yeah,
wants
yeah.
more, and it'll engulf everything that comes in its way.
Mm-hmm.
So this then is the nature of want. Any want is always replaced by further, and this is our experience, right? One
Mm.
desire gets fulfilled. How
Yeah, yeah.
long? Momentarily, you're
You
happy.
go to another, yeah.
Another desire comes, another
Mm.
desire. So, to suppose that by continuing to fulfill one's wants, that there will be a day when none remains is not a reasonable assumption. Like fire, karma always wants more. It will never say enough. Therefore, there is no possibility of karma coming to an end. It just goes on breeding. This is why we always have wants. And then in the next verse, Krishna told Arjuna how karma operates. We'll see this tomorrow. We didn't have time for enough manana on verse 37. We'll do some manana
Mm.
tomorrow. Yeah. And then,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, sure. Wait,
with
tomorrow,
5
my
minutes.
daughter's birthday.
Huh?
Dr. Brahmaraj, sorry. I thought I could read for tomorrow, but my daughter's birthday tomorrow
Oh, no
in the
worries. Don't
evening,
worry.
so I had to visit her.
Don't
So,
worry.
yeah, I'll try to read it on Sunday, okay?
No problem. Wishing
Thank,
her all the very best. Wish her a
thank,
wonderful birthday from all of us.
thank you, Dr. Brahma. Thank you very much.
Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Gurudev.
Okay.